The next story is for humor, not one but three, about a character called Nasruddin Hoja, who is quite famous around the region of Turkey and across the world. His stories are filled with wit and wisdom. Well, Hoja was seated on a pumpkin patch, just dreaming and wondering whatever he was wondering, when a traveler walked on the road carrying a bag, making his way towards the next village perhaps. The traveler stopped all of a sudden, turned to Hoja and said, "Huzur, can you tell me how far the next village is?" But Hoja didn't open his mouth. He just sat on the pumpkin patch, swaying back and forth. Once again, the traveler asked the same question, and Hoja didn't answer. He continued to sway on that pumpkin. Giving up, the traveler started walking with more intention to reach the other village when suddenly he heard a voice, "Stop, stop, stop! Bhai Sahab, I'll tell you. You will take about 2 hours to reach the next village." "Arey," said the traveler, "what is this? When I asked you, you didn't tell me, and then I thought that you couldn't hear, and now you're calling me. What does it mean?" "Bhai Sahab, when you asked me, I had not noticed how fast you can walk. Only when I saw you walk, I can tell you how long you will take to reach the village. Am I not right?" The traveler went away, feeling quite amazed at such wisdom. Another day, Hoja was invited to a rich man's house for lunch. Being a simple folk, he just went wearing his normal coat and his frayed shoes and his loose turban. But he was stopped at the gate. The security looked at him and said, "Do you have an invitation? You don't look like a person my master would have invited. Go, go, there's no place for you." "Arey, I have been invited." "You don't look like somebody who would come and eat in such a rich place. Where is your shabby looks?" Shabby looks? Hoja went back home, now came back wearing a good coat, brand new shoes, and his turban tied tightly. And now when he stood in front of that guard, the security was impressed enough to say, "Go, go, yes, go inside." Hoja went directly into the dining hall, sat down in front of a plate, picked up a piece of bread and put it in his pocket, picked up the cup of gravy and poured it into the other pocket of his coat. People were shocked. "What are you doing? Hoja, what are you doing?" You see, the coat gets more respect than the wearer, so the coat should be fed, and I'm feeding the coat. Much wisdom in that. Another day, Hoja, who had got a new job as a teacher, entered the classroom. Well, the children were all seated, curious to know how this new teacher would be in teaching them. Hoja was even more unsure than the children. He looked around and asked them a pertinent question. "How many of you know what I'm going to teach today?" All of them said, "No, Huzur, we don't know." "Arey, useless. If you don't know what I'm going to teach, no point in teaching." And he walked out, escaping for the day, not having to do anything. The next day when he arrived again into the class, he was quite a disciplined man in that way. The students were ready for him. And this time when he asked, Do you know what I'm going to teach you today? They all answered in a chorus, yes, Huzur, yes, 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 hoping that he would not just leave. But Hoja looked at them and said, if you know what I'm going to teach you, then why should I teach you? And he walked right out. The students were flummoxed. The third day, Hoja arrived again, looking at them, wondering what was the answer he was going to get. And as he expected, the moment he said, do you know what I'm going to teach you today? Half of them answered yes and half of them answered no. The witty Hoja looked at them and said, then all of you who know what I'm going to teach, you will teach all those who don't know what I'm going to teach, and escaped the third day as well. Well, this is Hoja for you. And the story task requires you to reflect upon your style. What do you like in humor? What is the kind of humor you like? Slapstick, physical humor? Or do you like wordplay? What is the kind of humor? Think about it, look around and write it out or capture it for yourself. What kind of humor really interests you?